on the Nissan NV versus the Ford Transit. And my goal is to do this review from a mother's perspective with a large family. When I was in the market of looking for a large vehicle, what I noticed was there wasn't a lot of reviews for these vehicles from a family standpoint, and then a few that were out there from a family standpoint were done by men. And so I figured, since we as women are going to be the ones driving the vehicle the most, it would be good to kind of have a mother's perspective on these vehicles and kind of our thoughts on how we feel driving them with a large family. So I am going to tell you about the Nissan NV and the Ford Transit. Okay, so I am going to start my way from the front and just work my way to the back. Starting with the front of the Nissan NV. First of all, I've had this car for a little over a year, and I personally really loved it. I had a Nissan Quest, and then from that I went to a Nissan Armada, and I loved the Nissan Armada. I was kind of over the whole minivan phase. I was pregnant with child number 6, and so my Nissan Quest was too small anyway. So we moved up to a Nissan Armada, which at the time sat 8, and I loved my Armada. But what I hated about it was that you had to flip the seats in order for the kids to get to the back. So that's how we ended up getting to this vehicle. So let me just say, what I love about this vehicle is that it has a truck front. If you notice it, the front of it is just like the Nissan Titan. That's where they got the build of this vehicle from. So it looks like a truck from the front, and it is on a truck chassis. Yes, truck chassis. So it rides really high like a truck. Again, it sits high like a truck. It has the tow or pulls in the front, so if you ever needed to pull somebody out of a ditch, you could do that. It has this large grille in the front, so just very sleek, and it's just nice. It's a nice vehicle, very pretty. This one, we bought the SL model, so this is the highest model, and so this one has a V8 engine. And before I bought this, I didn't care nothing about a V6, V8, and any of that stuff. But now that I've had a V8 engine, you can feel it. I mean, you know you're driving a V8. The power behind it, when you're in it, you just feel that engine rumbling. And if you're anything like me, I kind of like having that kind of power. We took this truck to Gatlinburg, and going up the mountains, I mean, it just purred like a kitty going up those mountains, no problems whatsoever, and it was full to the capacity. So just the front of the vehicle is a truck chassis. It has a V8 engine, does great going up mountains, but with that V8 engine, this bad boy drinks gas like water. So let me just say, I am a 10-mile radius girl, so that means I typically stay within a 10-mile radius of my house. So I didn't feel the gas issue as much as people who may drive 20-30 miles. You're going to feel it. This car gets about 13 miles to the gallon city, 10 to 13 miles city, and then like 15 to 17 highway. So again, and you know you cannot use ethanol gas or anything like that. It takes 87. So again, you kind of feel it, but with gas prices dropping, that may not be a huge issue. So yes, that is the front of the Nissan NV. Okay, so I'm just gonna start it up because first of all, it's cold outside. So you hear that, you kind of hear the power in starting this truck up. I mean, again, that V8 definitely makes a difference with the power of it. So just kind of showing you the front and the inside. The dash is really high, so you are, I mean, this is kind of blocking your sight view, so to speak, so you are sitting up again really high. The dash is high. It comes with backup camera, so I'll just kind of show you that. So it's small. I wish that the screen was bigger. I think in the this one is a 2013, so I think in the 2016s they said the screen was bigger. So it has that backup camera. It has backup sensors and front sensors, which is great because with the dash being so high and your front being so high, you're gonna need those front sensors turning into parking spaces and different things like that, because this bad boy is a beast. So again, it has XM radio, Bluetooth. The Bluetooth, however, you cannot talk to it, so you have to manually call your numbers, manually push it in. So that part kind of sucks. You can't talk to the navigation. You have to be in a park position to put in your addresses. However, I mean, with our smartphones and different things like that, that's not a huge con, but it would be nice if we could have the voice sensors to be able to put in navigation and Bluetooth. So this one is leather interior, which I'll show you that in a second, but it has the heating for both of the front seats. Tow mode, again, we went to Gatlinburg. We also took this truck to Arizona, and we had to tow a trailer, and we had bikes, and again, the truck was full to capacity. So it has a tow mode. This comes with the full tow package. It has the dual air conditioning for passenger and yourself. This is the air conditioning to control the rear settings, and then this is just a little compartment to keep your sunglasses or whatever. And so another con as a woman and a mother, this is nice to have these big huge visors, but what would have been extra nice is a nice big mirror. So the con to this is that it does not have a mirror in my visor, and you don't know how many times I have been going somewhere and stopped to look, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot there's no mirror. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like trying to, you know, do it in this little mirror. So anyway, that is a con as a mother, not having a mirror, so be prepared for that. Again, the steering wheel is big. It's like a truck steering wheel, so that's nice. You feel like you have control of the car. In the front, you have 4 cup holders. You have a large one, and I'm sorry y'all, this is a mess, but whatever. You have a large one for big cups, and then you have 3 smaller ones. You have this little compartment. I don't know, I've never used this. I have no idea what this is for. Sometimes I'll put my cell phone right here in this little compartment. You also have a big huge compartment right here to keep things in. And then this is cool because it slides up. So if you're sitting in your car and you need to write, you know, you have this to be able to write stuff on. Or if you're eating in your car, you're, you know, sitting there, you can eat on this or whatever. And then it has this big huge compartment in here as well, and then this little, so lots and lots of storage. I had a TV installed in ours aftermarket, so I kept all of our DVDs and different things like that in this compartment. And then you also have a side compartment on each door as well. Y'all, real quick, more storage. So right here, now y'all kind of junky here, I need to clean out, is more storage. So I would, as you can see, I have extra socks in here, but you could also keep, I kept diapers in here, extra baby wipes, extra hand wipes, just whatever you want to kind of keep in here. So that's cool to have that extra under seat storage. This one has electric power control for your seats. And then what's really cool is this little cell phone holder. So you can stick your cell phone in there. I'll just use my little TV remote right there, and keep your cell phone kind of out of the way, and it's not falling all over the floor or whatever. So that's also cool, and a feature that I actually did use a lot. All right, so I'm in the back. This is a 12-seater, so just to let you guys know, it seats 12. And if you notice, I have taken off all of the headrests. And the reason I did that is because you have zero visibility out of your rear view mirror with the headrest on. Definitely a huge con for me. Even with the headrest off, I still cannot see out of my rear view mirror. There's really no purpose to have a rear view mirror in this Nissan NV because it's pointless. So so I've taken off all of the headrests, but it does come with all the headrests. So it seats 12, you got 3, 3, and then 4. The cool thing about this Nissan NV is all of the seats come out, and they are easy to come out. I'll show you that in just a second. You just pull the latch and they all come out. On the website, it says that this thing can be configured like 300 different ways. I want somebody to come out and show me 300 different ways, because we have tried and we've gotten maybe about 10. So before we've taken out these 2 seats because these are individual seats, and that makes more room on the walkway. We've taken out the back 2 seats to have trunk space. We've taken out the entire back row to have trunk space. I mean, and that's really it. I don't know what these 300 configurations are, but they say 300. So again, that's cool that you can take out all the seats. So we've hauled stuff, we've brought bunk beds home, just all kind of stuff. It essentially becomes like an indoor pickup truck, which is pretty cool. So let me just show y'all the height. So anyway, there's no floorboard. Huge downside as a mother, because babies cannot get in by themselves unless they're like, you know, crawling up and all of that stuff. So I'm having to physically lift everybody in. They'll try to use this little thing to get in because they can't reach these. So you have this huge step, I mean, getting into this thing, and then this huge step getting down. That's kind of a pain, but I mean, it's nothing. So anyway, getting in, you see, you kind of just trying to walk. You're kind of bent over, if y'all can see. So just coming all the way to the back and just sitting in. It's kind of tight back here, navigating in and out. And I'm gonna put all my car seats in and just show y'all how we get in as a family, but just showing you how each thing. So cup holders, there is 2 cup holders. They're at the bottom, 2 cup holders per row. And y'all, I'm a mother. Again, I've had this car for a year, so excuse how dirty it is. If you saw my Periscope, you saw that we were cleaning it and shampooed the carpet. So we have done that since we've had it, which is cool because, again, you can take all the seats out and then shampoo the carpet. So each row has 2 cup holders. And then there's a outlet there for charging, and there, I'll show you once we get to the trunk, is another outlet. So you can see I'm kind of hunched over trying to walk back here. And speaking of chargers, there's one DV charger, there's an actual outlet charger, another DV charger, and a USB. So you have, I think, 4 chargers in this, so pretty good on chargers. So yeah, so that's the inside. All right, so opening up the trunk. So this is your trunk space. If you have to use all 12 seats, this is it. I mean, you are literally maybe getting 4 grocery bags. So when I would go grocery shopping, because this was my main source of transportation, I drive this thing everywhere. This was my car. I don't have, I mean, my husband has a car, but this was essentially my car. So I'm like sliding groceries under the seats and I mean, that definitely is a downside, is the trunk space. Of course, if you don't need all the seats, you could just take these out. And so basically, there's these 2 little latches here. You just, let me see if I can do it. You just pull and they pop right out, and then you pull it out. And then the back seat has wheels. The other seats do not have wheels. These seats are heavy. So you're not taking them out by yourself. You're gonna need your husband or boyfriend or whoever, neighbor, somebody to come over and help you take these bad boys out. So but they're easy to take out. So that's the trunk space. The doors, and here's your other AC charger. And so you can, for tailgating, you can plug that in. My kids would use this to charge their iPads or iPods or whatever. So that's cool. I kind of really like this feature that it has that, because again, if you're sitting in the very back row, you can plug in your thing. I've also had a little mini fridge plugged up back here. Like I said, we took this to Arizona. It took us 3 days, y'all, to get there, and I brought a little mini fridge and had it plugged up with some waters and drinks and stuff. So these doors do swing all the way open. So, I mean, you can get, when you're loading stuff in and out, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is the trunk. Okay, so I have loaded all of my car seats in, and I should have showed you guys how difficult that was to do. But so I have 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, and then 1 in the back. So just to tell you about the latches, because that's an important part, only the middle seats have the little latches for car seats. So this seat has it. See if y'all can see. So this middle seat, that middle seat, and then in the back is the 2 middle ones in the back. Those are the only ones that have the car seat latches. So if that's important to you, keep that in mind. And so because I have 10 kids, I had to be strategic about where I put my car seats, which means that I couldn't use the latches. So because my baby still has to be rear facing, I had to put him on the window seat. And the reason being is because if I had him on this side, if you can see how narrow the aisle is, you can't get around his car seat to get to those 2 seats. Now, what I failed to mention was in the NV, you can slide this row back. So if you see right here, it has an extra latch. So you can slide this row back to have more foot room in between the front seats in this second row. However, when you do that, this row loses all of its foot space. And so I tried that way, and basically this child knees were like on the seat. So if you have bigger kids, you really are not going to want to ride that way. I mean, and then you can slide this row back also, but you cannot slide the back row back. So if you slide this row back, your back row has 0 leg space. So those are some things to keep in mind with the seat configuration and putting car seats in here. So again, if you have a child that is rear facing, if you put them on the end or in the middle, you're not going to be able to utilize that other seat unless your child crawls under to get around. And we did do that for a very long time, where my oldest daughter would just crawl under and go around. But I mean, it got ridiculous. So we just ended up moving him over. Also, we just upgraded him to the dyno car seat and have him rear facing with the dyno. And if you have a taller person in the NV driver's seat, you would not be able to use a rear facing on that side, because what happens is the seat comes back and then it pushes the seat up. So even with the infant carrier, that would be an issue with a taller person. So keep that in mind if you are taller. I am 5'1", so I don't really have that issue. My husband's 5'7", so we are shorter. So that makes a difference. But anyway, we're going to take it for a drive. I'm going to show you guys us loading up in this bad boy. All right, so we are coming out the house and we're going to show you loading up in this NV. All right, let's go. Let's go. Get in the car.
This car?
This one. This one. Okay, so just watching the little ones try to step up in here. If you could.
This is mine. Mommy.
Just watch it. Yes. I'm going to try to get a good angle so y'all can see. I'm kind of. This is my oldest. Major, just get in a seat, please. Sydney, go to the front.
Charlie, sit down.
Charlie, sit down, please.
Okay, we might not watch a movie.
Charlie, sit down.
We can watch a movie.
No, sit back.
We can watch
Then when you sit down, put the movie in there.
Okay, so here we. Can y'all?
Yeah, I can restate it.
Major, get in your seat. Alright, so just to show you guys, we're loaded up. So this is the front row, and we don't have the baby, he's sleeping, but as you can see, this is how close we are with the babies. And then that's the back row, and the furthest back row. So we have one extra seat because, again, I have 9 kids at home. I have 10. So whenever I have my oldest son or my younger brother or my niece with us or any other child, we're full to capacity in this car, and it looks full, if you can see here. And so that's what it looks like with all of the kids loaded up. So we're gonna get loaded up and go for a ride.
Charlie, come sit down.